Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to dive into something that honestly feels like it's been ripped right out of a science fiction movie, AI that creates video. And we're going to be focusing on OpenAI's new model Sora 2 and what it really means for the future of movies, creativity, and storytelling itself.
So just start with this question. Really think about it. What if that next huge blockbuster, that short film that goes viral, or even that documentary you can't stop thinking about, what if none of it was shot with a camera? What if it was all just generated by an AI from a couple of sentences? It sounds completely nuts, I know, but that reality is getting a whole lot closer, way faster than you think.
We're really standing at a huge turning point here. Think about what things like DALL-E and Midjourney did for pictures and art. It just completely changed the game, right? Well, that's what's happening to video right now. This isn't just a small step up. It's a totally new way to think about making things move on a screen.
And right at the center of this whole earthquake is OpenAI's Sora 2. The basic idea is simple enough. It's a text-to-video model. You type in what you want to see, and boom, it spits out a video clip. But what's making everyone's jaw drop with Sora 2 is the quality. The level of realism and the complexity of the scenes it can create, it's just on another level.
And it's funny, the name they chose kind of gives away their whole grand plan. Sora is the Japanese word for sky, and they picked it to symbolize this idea of, limitless creative potential. So you can tell they're not just trying to build a new app here, they're trying to open up a whole new creative sky for all of us.
So, where does Sora 2 actually fit in with the other tools out there? Well, its biggest competitor right now is probably Runway Gen 3. Runway is all about giving you tons of precise control, for pros and marketing folks who need to get every little detail just right. Sora 2, on the other hand, is gunning for something else. Its strength is in pure physical realism and creating an immersive feeling. It's really built from the ground up for telling stories that feel real and just pull you in. Which, of course, brings us here. What can these new tools actually do for creators? Let's take a look at how this is about to completely overhaul the storyteller's toolbox. Okay, some of Sora 2's features are just a massive leap. First off, it's not just making silent movies. It can generate the video and the audio at the same time, so you get dialogue and sound effects that are perfectly synced up. Then you have this wild cameo feature where you can literally put yourself into any scene and it'll get the lip sync right. And we're not just talking about tiny 5-second clips anymore. Sora 2 can actually create multi-shot narratives, building a whole cohesive story from just one prompt. It's incredible.
And the impact of this is potentially huge. Imagine being an aspiring filmmaker. Suddenly, you might not need a massive budget or super expensive cameras or a big crew. That huge barrier to entry that's always been there, it could just get shattered. All you really need is a powerful idea, and you can bring these incredible cinematic scenes to life. This could seriously democratize filmmaking.
Okay, but as you know, with this kind of power comes a lot of really complicated questions. Once you get past that initial wow moment, you have to hit the brakes and really think about the challenges and the potential dark side of a technology this powerful. And believe me, the stakes are sky high. If you want to understand the sheer force behind this push, just follow the money. $109 billion. That's how much private money was poured into AI in 2024 alone, according to a Stanford study. So this isn't some little side experiment. This is a full-on industrial revolution happening in real time. And that brings us to the big, unavoidable question. All this progress is amazing, for sure, but what are the trade-offs? What are the costs we really need to stop and think about before we just charge headfirst into this new world?
So for all the magic, these tools are far from perfect. A lot of creators are finding that they just don't have that fine-tuned control they need. And the AI can still really struggle with subtle things, like truly lifelike facial expressions, or understanding the deeper context and nuance of a story. And here's the irony. While it lowers some barriers to entry, the insane amount of computer power needed to run these things can actually create a brand new barrier for smaller, independent creators. And then there's the big one, the huge legal and ethical mess that is copyright. It took no time at all for people to start making videos with SpongeBob and Pokemon. And that, as you can imagine, has Hollywood studios and artists on extremely high alert. OpenAI says they're working on giving rights holders more control, and CEO Sam Altman even floated this interesting idea of a future where creators could opt in and maybe get a cut of the revenue from what he called a new kind of interactive fan fiction.
So what this all really shows is that the technology is just moving way faster than our rules and our ethics can keep up. So how do we actually navigate this new frontier? Let's talk about how we can build a future where these incredible tools are used responsibly and to their full potential.
You know, the path forward really seems to be about partnership, not about replacement. The best approach seems to be what's called a human-in-the-loop system, where a human creator is there to guide the AI to refine its work and to make corrections. It's about blending the raw speed of AI with the nuance of traditional artistry, and it's about building ethics and respect for intellectual property into the code from day one.
And really, that's the key takeaway from this whole conversation. There's no doubt we're heading towards an AI-powered future. The only question is what that future will actually look like. And that depends entirely on the choices we make right now. The goal here shouldn't be to replace human creativity, but to amplify it, to make it bigger, faster, and more accessible. These AI models could be the most powerful creative partners we've ever had, handling all the technical groundwork and freeing us up to focus on the things that really matter: the story, the emotion, the vision. Because the human element, that's the heart of it all. That's the one ingredient you can't replace.
Hey, if you got something out of this deep dive into Sora 2, it would be awesome if you could hit that like button and subscribe for more explainers on the tech that's shaping our world.
And I want to leave you with one final question to chew on. After everything we've talked about today, where do you land? Do you think tools like Sora 2 are eventually going to replace human filmmakers? Or will they be a source of incredible inspiration that pushes our creativity to places we can't even begin to imagine yet? Let me know what